With respect to the derivation refund currently making the waves, as I'm sure you are well aware, the commissioners of finance in Nigeria under the aegis of FAC, especially those from the oil-producing states, we spotted the fact that there was an anomaly with the federal government making deductions and not spending money rather from crude oil and gas sales and not taking out derivation. So the work was done, and a total of about 1 trillion naira was established to the oil-producing states. Now, it went through the whole process. Now, Economic Council endorsed, President approved, and a distribution methodology was adopted from RAMFAC, the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, and they now established what was going to go to each state. Edo State's share of that figure was 28 billion naira. 28 billion. It's a small figure out of the 1 trillion, but that's what will get to us. Now, what was also approved was the way and manner this money was to be distributed to the state. The net amount, again, they are usually statutory deductions. So the net amount will come to each state over 5 years. Each year you will have quarterly remittance, which means 4 releases each year over 5 years. Now, this disbursement was to start this year. But some states, 1 or 2 states went to court to restrain. All that happened, and then the releases now started in October, just last month. What federal government did, though, was to keep the share of each state. So by the time they started releasing, Edo State got 2 tranches, 2 quarters payment in arrears. And what we got was 700 million per quarter. This is verifiable in our bank account just behind you here at Sterling Bank. So we've received 3 quarterly releases so far, 700, 700, 700. That is what has come into the state coffers. And it is verifiable, it is in the bank. Office of the Accountant General has the records. So our share was 28 billion. Net is to be distributed over 5 years, quarterly. That will be 20 quarterly installmental releases. 3 has come so far. Each has been 700, 700, 700. And how that money was spent, again, we have the records.
Would not want to go into any kind of argument with former Governor Oshiomole, because it is a known fact that when he came into office in 2008, Edo State had a debt burden of 40 billion naira. And by the time he left 8 years later, after receiving 1 trillion naira from the Federation account and all the incomings into the Edo State Treasury, was 1 trillion naira in those 8 years. Oshiomole left, Edo State was owing 160 billion naira. Now, under normal circumstances, we won't want to speak on Oshiomole because he doesn't have the moral authority to talk about transparency, accountability, especially when we have the most frugal government, the most transparent government Edo State has produced in the last 25, 30 years, which is this government headed by Governor Obaseki. To have someone like Adams Oshiomole question us is actually embarrassing. But we will not speak yet. We will wait for when he climbs the podium. We are lucky he's also contesting an election. At the right time, we will now call him to answer to Edo people.